Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for being part of our webinar today. So I think the others are still joining. So our attendees are increasing. So, but of course, we wanted to start on time. So I think we can go ahead and start already our presentation as the others are still joining. So anyway, again, thank you so much for joining our webinar for today entitled Future Proofing Your Nonprofit Mission. Sorry, I just wanted to check. Can you hear me fine, everyone? Good?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, so again, this webinar that we have here today is actually hosted by Oracle NetSuite Social Impact, of course, in collaboration with our very reliable and very known partner in the region, Azdan. And whenever we do these types of webinars or events, we talk about different things, right? And of course, before we go ahead and talk about future proofing your nonprofit mission, let me just go ahead and introduce first your go-to people for social impact. On the next slide, please. Of course, Asdan would be introducing their team in a while, but of course, from the social impact side, this is me to your left, right? So my name is Mariel Bertumen. I'm the senior social impact manager, handling JPAC, EMEA, and Latin America. Of course, with me is Stefan Perez. He is one of our social impact business development consultant, handling the whole of EMEA. And so, again, as I was sharing with you earlier, whenever we do these types of conversations, we talk about different things, right? We talk about people, we talk about processes, we talk about solutions. And people is actually related to the different functions that we have. What are the different functions, the different roles of people within the organization, right? How do they interact with each other? And then the next part there is processes. So when we talk about processes, this is actually, if you click on it, please, Stefan. So when we talk about processes, right, this is related to um, the operations, your operations. So what are the different programs that you have within your organization? How does it tied up? I mean, from your donor management to your financials, how is it tied up all together? And then, of course, solution that's related to your strategy. So what are the different strategies that you have for you to be able to meet your goal? And in today's session, again, what we wanted to discuss is future-proofing your nonprofit mission, right? So is your organization future-proof? When we talk about future proofing, is your organization future proof to be able to like go through a journey of scalability, innovation, continue to operate no matter what the situation? I mean, in our situation right now, it's very timely, right? That I mean, we have this pandemic. So if we encounter a similar situation down the road, is your organization future proof? And we have these goals right in front of you, right? These are some of the goals that maybe are common to all of us here. So the goals are, of course, removing manual processes, enabling a flexible workforce, analyzing your data in donor database, and fueling your mission. So let's just go over each one of them, each one in detail, right? So when I talk about removing manual processes, right? This is all about streamlining your operations, eliminating silos, improving visibility and transparency. And when we when we talk about streamlining your operations, whether you're a big or a medium-sized organization or a small one, right? You have your own process flow. So what are the different process flows that you have there? Say, for example, from your call to action of receiving donations, right? What's next? Does it go to your restricted fund or unrestricted fund? Does it go to different projects, or is there a specific project that that fund goes to? How many projects do you have? which project to allocate, and so on and so forth. So all of those are part of your operations, and would like to streamline that operation to really help you improve the way you manage your whole organization, right? And of course, eliminating silos. So of course, you have different departments, different roles, right? So ultimately, what we wanted to accomplish here is for your people from different departments to be able to talk to each other. They know what's going on in one department and would be able to collaborate better and improve the way they communicate and work together. Improving visibility and transparency, that's of course related to productivity as well, to project management, and so on and so forth, reporting as well. Now, the next one that we wanted to, of course, drill down on is, of course, enabling your flexible workforce, right? Again, very timely in our situation right now, whether people are working from home, working from wherever, right? From the provinces or from the cities, right? Or maybe some are doing field work, being able to really allow these people to access your information, to access your data, so that we would be able to again promote collaboration among the people within your group, right? So I have one very good example for you. Um, Here in the Asia region, we have one organization. Name is GK Enchanted Farm, right? So one day, GK was actually featured in a TV show. So what GK is doing is that aside from empowering startup organizations, right, they also have this farm wherein in the farm, they also accept tourist people to just go to the farm, experience how to milk cows, right, make cottage cheese. So they were actually featured in a TV show. And so after that TV show, right, the following day there were really a lot of people now who was trying to contact GK because they wanted to experience a tour of the farm as well. Now, of course, the people at the front desk, they know how many visitors would go to the farm on a particular Saturday, on a Sunday, or on a holiday. But how about the people at the kitchen? So because they were using powerful tool like NetSuite, so aside from the front desk people knowing how many people are coming in on a particular day, right? How many visitors, the people at the kitchen also knows how many meals they need to prepare for that day, right? To accommodate all the visitors. At the same time, they're able to optimize staffing because they know how many people they need to allocate as tour guides. So those things, so it's really gonna allow us to improve the way we collaborate within our group, right? And again, optimize our staffing. Now, the third goal that we have here, and I hope this is also true for most of us, right, is being able to analyze performance, have real-time data, generate faster report. This is really all related to what are the information that you enter into this system, right? So that you would be able to access those information real time. You would be able to analyze, make a sound decision, make the right decision towards your goal, right? And then the fourth one there is to be able to fuel your mission because you have the right data in front of you, right? You're able to make the right decision of whether to continue on with this program or re-strategize, or whether to kind of like partner with other organizations so that you could foster that growth that everybody is really gearing towards. So increasing revenues, accelerating growth, innovation, scalability. That's all what all of us, of course, are goaling, really aspiring to have, right? And of course, that's one of the reasons why we have our program, Oracle NetSuite Social Impact, to help you with that goal. So I'd like to turn you over to my colleague, Stefan, to talk about Oracle NetSuite Social Impact Program. Over to you, Stefan.
Thank you, Mario, and welcome everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. As Mario highlighted, I'm just going to be sharing a little bit more around NetSuite and our social impact program. So to start off with, who's Oracle NetSuite? What do we do? Well, Oracle NetSuite was the first cloud company to exist. What that means is that we were born in the cloud, and we've been operating in the cloud ever since. So that means that you can access NetSuite anytime, anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection and a compatible device. So NetSuite itself is an ERP solution with focus on the accounting at the heart of it. So it allows you to manage your organization, all the back-end operations within your organization. So far, NetSuite is trusted by over 21,000 customers worldwide. And yes, we've had record growth. It's one of the reasons as well that Oracle program, how that was formed. It started in 2007, and it was actually founded as netsuite.org by NetSuite's founder, Evan Goldberg. He was part of a parent-teacher association, and they were using two different solutions to manage their inventory and to manage their accounts as well. So he thought and use one system to be able to manage everything in one place. From there, it really sparked an idea for, how can he support more nonprofit organizations? He understood, nonprofit organizations need these type of systems just as much as corporate organizations and for-profit organizations. So from there, he really took it forward and took his initiatives to really grow the program, support more nonprofits. And as a result of that, we've been able to support over 2,000 social impact customers globally today, and increase our initiatives that we have within our program, such as our Suite Pro Bono Initiatives and Suite Capacity Initiative. So as I mentioned, this we support over 2,000 nonprofits globally. This really shows our understanding of different types of nonprofits, and in the different areas of the world as well. So really wanting to support the nonprofits that make a difference to our communities, but also globally as well. These are the three pillars that really make up what we do at Oracle NetSuite Social Impact. The first is focusing on suite donation. So this is where we actually donate a proportion of NetSuite software to social impact organizations. From there, we then have our Suite Pro Bono initiatives, where social impact customers are able to apply for Suite Pro Bono projects. This can be a challenge that they are particularly facing with NetSuite. For example, there's maybe a particular report that you need help creating. You can apply for this project, and we will help you match up with NetSuite employees that take the time to help build a solution that you're looking for on these. And the third pillar is our Suite Capacity pillar, which again is additional support from NetSuite employees to really ensure that you're getting the most out of your NetSuite platform, to provide you with extra training. So this could be a particular workshop that we host, and you'd be able to sign up for that. And at the end of that, come away and implement what we've shown within your NetSuite instance. So yeah, to start with, we start by donating the software, and then once you're live, we're able to provide additional support and resources to really ensure that you're getting the most out of your software, that you are supported, and that you can really accelerate your growth to impact the mission that you have. Just wanted to use this slide to really highlight some of the organizations that we help globally. We help all shapes and all sizes across the world. So from large international organizations like Compassion World Farming to your local organizations and small organizations as well. So, NetSuite is able to cater for all types of needs and all different size nonprofit organizations. So our goal to partner with Azdan is really to at Oracle NetSuite Social Impact, we're going to provide with the base donation and be able to kind of host the software for you. And then Azdan will be able to really leverage the technology by implementing the solution and growing with you to get the most out of the solution as well. And then at the end of that, we really hopefully empower your organizations to accelerate your missions and the impact that you have in our communities and around the world. So just final point from me before I pass on to Bishoy is just to highlight some next steps. If this is something that you're interested in, then please do follow these. You can email us then after the webinar, or we'll be in contact with you and set up individual meetings. Then we can review your needs and kind of go through discoveries, individual demos. And then once that has been determined, then we can send out documents and have you implementing with Azdan. So yeah, thank you all for listening to me so far. I'll hand over to Bishoy now to speak about some of the top trends for nonprofit organizations. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Stefan. I'll start sharing my screen. I hope you can hear my voice and see my screen.
Yes, we can see that and I can hear you.
Very good. So hello, everyone. This is Bishoy Sami from Azdan, the partner for Oracle NetSuite in the Middle East. We have around like 200 professional certified consultants implementing the NetSuite across the different domains. For sure, we serve the Middle East. We know the localization for the market. We know how it works. And for sure, we are working hand by hand by the social impact team from the Oracle NetSuite to support the non-for-profit organizations in the region. In Azdan, we believe a lot in knowing the industry, knowing the business is a very important aspect for having a complete solution that will meet the requirements for non-for-profit organization. So Azdan, with the social impact, invested a lot of time and efforts in order to understand properly how non-for-profit organizations are working, how actually we can benefit such organizations, because at the end it has a big impact on our society and our communities. So we know exactly how the grants working, how the fundraising is happening, how we can optimize all of such type of relations with the donors, how we can actually benefit the non-for-profit organizations to run their business and to achieve the programs that they are participating in very well. And when it comes to automating the solutions, this is also will be our role to make sure the implementation, it went 100% successfully, meeting the expectations from the management inside the non-for-profit, and also streamlining the operations. And we understand like there are a lot of aspects in this when it comes to the operations of the solutions. So we will be hand by hand with you to make sure like really you are benefit from the Oracle NetSuite for your organization and you are streamlining this business. When we are talking about like the top trends for the non-for-profit organization, we identified 8 trends, and those trends will be very important concepts, I can say, non-for-profit organization they will benefit from. And after a few minutes, I'll share with you like a demonstration by my colleague Gergis. He will take you through the live instance of the NetSuite and will show you how actually practically non-for-profit organization can benefit from using Oracle NetSuite. Let me start with the first trend over here. We know now all of the management or even team members, they rely a lot in using the mobile to run the business and to monitor the process. So here in Oracle NetSuite, we believe a lot in having the mobile as a must to make sure like all the process related to achieving any tasks, look at in specific KPIs, monitor specific reports, perform any workflow approvals, doing any kinds of phone calls and following up and monitor any activities. It's already enabled. So from the day one that you are using Oracle NetSuite for non-for-profit organization, you have a native mobile applications actually enabled on Android and iPhone devices that you will give you the full visibility of your operations and what you are doing and your financials and your donor relationship management from the day one. The second important trend also the automation itself. We know like by fact non-for-profit organizations, they do have a lot of operations that it requires automations when we are talking about like fundraising operations, grant accounting, inventory management, or donors relationship management. So we need really a system that, as Mirel mentioned, like acts as a one connected solution that communicate all departments will be able to communicate with each other and not working as a silos or like miscommunications or relying on emails or Excel sheets in order to share the numbers or share the reports or running the operations. So when we are talking about NetSuite, we are talking about like end-to-end solution that capable to handle all the operations happening in the non-for-profit organizations, streamlining all the different areas in the organizations, and for sure connect the process together and enable the required automations. That's really, it will be, I can call it like game changer in the process related for non-profit organizations. When it comes to the like what I can call it real-time fundraising and grant management, we know all like we as a non-for-profit organization, we need to have a comprehensive solution. This comprehensive solution not only covering the areas related to our donor relationship management or handling all types of activities in terms of the operations front office, I can call it operations, but also we need a very reliable system working also to handle all activities related to back office operations, such as general ledger, accounts payable, receivables, cash management, having statistical accounting, having a very advanced allocation rules. And in addition to this, giving us also a very accurate real-time financial reporting. So it's actually streamlining all the back office operations, giving us a very confidence when it comes to the financial close, and for sure having all type of real-time reporting and analysis related to, let's call it financials, anything related to the fundraising or grant management, or any specific topics related to non-for-profit organizations. There is also another important aspect or trend, I can call it, majority of non-for-profit organizations look at these days, which is related to how actually the business will be segmented to serve non-for-profit organizations. So we know like from commercial organizations, they always looking to classify their business according to the legal company or according to different classifications of departments or location, classes, projects, which is, we call it like traditional segments for any business. But when it comes to non-for-profit, Oracle NetSuite, as I told you in the beginning, invested a lot of efforts and time in order to define certain segments could be very, very useful, and you can consider it as a best practices for any typical non-for-profit organization, such as like I need to have a dimension related to restrictions. If we have any like restrictions on donors, I need to have a dimension related to fund program or a revenue type, or even even further classifications or revenue type or any functional expenses, or even classifying my activities based on a specific region or a specific grant. So all of such type of classifications or segmentation, it's actually 100% enabled in your Oracle NetSuite non-for-profit instance. And also you can add as many as you need dimensions or segments. That's actually helping you to monitor your business or non-for-profit operations very well, to control clearly your budget and to make sure your budget is allocated properly, to make sure all donations coming are properly allocated to the programs that's actually intent for. So all of such type of things coming with a very advanced, I can call it, ability to analyze and to understand all of such type of content that's actually reflect very I can call it well reporting and structure of your non-for-profit organizations. And for sure this is very important in order to share such type of reports or analysis with the community that you are served, with the donors that they are participate for your non-for-profit organizations. So this is actually increase a lot when it comes to what type of abilities that you have in your organizations, and for sure it will improve like your process a lot. The other trend I have over here, the chatbot. We know, like, we now need to rely on the technology in order to perform certain, I can call it, repetitive tasks. I need actually to supercharge the huge efforts that we are doing for like fundraising operations as an example. So how actually the robots or what we call it like the chatbot can help me if I have any question. So as a volunteer doing like an application for this non-for-profit, how actually the such type of automation can help me when it comes to keep your community informed, when it comes to like, you know, giving the access to any kind of services that you are offering as a non-for-profit organization. So you need to have or to rely on the I can call it the technology such as chatbot in order to achieve all of such type of activities. And for sure such type of, I can call it, digital workers can help you as a non-for-profit organization to automate a lot of the routine tasks that you have in your organization. So chatbot, it's also one of the important trends that I'd like to highlight today. When it comes to like marketing the non-for-profit organizations, for sure we could need to have a marketing automations in order to, let's call it, launching any campaign for the fundraising, in order to look, let's call it, shorten the fundraising cycle. So how actually NetSuite can help us in this. That's why in NetSuite we do have the concept that we call it a complete marketing automation process, that's giving you the ability to build multi-channel campaigns and manage those campaigns, and take all the I can call it required performance from any social media that you are using, or any emails or any blogs or whatever, any kinds of activities happening. Such type of multi-channels campaigns can for sure streamline the execution of the fundraising across the multiple channels that you are using, and giving you a clear visibility about what's happening in your campaigns. But also it helps you a lot in order to shorten this cycle by delivering a very, I can call it, high level transparency about what's happening, giving you a real-time guidance, giving you like a clear understanding about how actually you can optimize your, let's call it, fundraising cycle, and make it more efficient and more automated as a part also of the Oracle NetSuite. The other trend that I have over here, we know like any non-for-profit organization, they are getting the money from the donors, and at the end they need to look at the what I can call it, eligible people, or achieve the required programs that they are actually would like to achieve it by such donations. So they need to make sure they have a reliable system that they can rely on to handle all the back office operations and all the heavy supply chain cycle, which is here NetSuite again coming to the board, giving you the ability to streamline all your supply chain process, in terms of supply chain planning, execution, collaboration, any kind of support. It's handled 100% on Oracle NetSuite, and for sure this is a big added value to build such type of transparency and also efficiency in when it comes to the I can call it back-end operations or supply chain automations. The last trend that I'd like to share with you today before handed over to my colleague Gergis to do the live demonstration is the NetSuite come with pre-configured, I can call it roles that's actually exist in any typical non-for-profit organization, such as I need the program, I have a program director, I have a grant administrator, I have receivables people, payables, CEO, top management. So those people, no need to reinvent the wheel, or no need to ask them what type of dashboards they should see it, or what type of KPIs they should monitor, or what type of scorecards they should able to monitor, because NetSuite from the day one giving you all of such type of know-how like ready to be used. There are a lot of pre-configured workflows exist in the system. There are a lot of know-how, as Stefan mentioned. We are talking about more than 2,000 big non-for-profit organizations worldwide. They are using Oracle NetSuite edition for non-for-profit, which is actually all of such type of know-how has been embedded inside the application to give you the benefit and to give you the best practices, I need to say, for the other non-for-profit organizations are doing. So all of such content, it's coming to you from the day one. I'll now hand it over to my colleague Gergis in order to do the live demonstration. So Gergis, you can start. Thank you.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. So today we are going to demonstrate how NetSuite can manage your non-for-profit organization using NetSuite native functionality to generate all the reports that you might need to have the full visibility over your business. So of course NetSuite is a cloud-based system. You can access it from anywhere using the internet. It's also available as mobile app. You can download it from Google Play or App Store. NetSuite is role-based system. All right, it's just one database with different roles, and each role has a specific permissions and restrictions. So one role can handle the financials, for example, another one can handle the procurement, for example, but all the roles and all the modules, let's say, or functions are natively integrated, and it's real time. So as you can see here, the dashboard in NetSuite, it's a real-time dashboard, and it's also very flexible for the user to customize. So it's a matter of drag and drop support to customize your dashboard. For example, here you have the reminders portlet, okay, which shows you the tasks that you need to do once you log in into the system. Of course, this reminders is different for each role. So, for example, the CFO reminders should be different than the procurement manager and so on. So, as you can see here, I have donors to bill, I have pledges or agreements to invoice, I have that overdue pledge payments and so on. So, you can click on setup, just add all the reminders that you need, or even customize all the reminders as per your criteria, just to have it here on your dashboard. Of course, you can manage this as well through your mobile application. Just you can log in into your mobile application, see what reminders or what tasks that you have, so you can perform your daily work easily. So for example, here also we have KPI meter to monitor your total bank balance. You have here the calendar just to manage your activities. You have an event, you have phone call, you can, assign a task for someone of your team or someone. So it's very useful as well to have a shared calendar as well between you and your subordinates. So down here we have some of the dashboard tiles. It's something just for easy navigation. into the system rather going through the tabs. You can easily have some of the shortcuts here just to click it, so you can easily navigate to. Well, down here we have another portlet for revenue by fund or by program. Of course, you can choose the date range that you want to have this portlet. Okay, let's say I want to see it the last fiscal year to date, last month, whatever the period that you want to see this portlet on. Also, you can change how it looks like. If I want to see it by pie, I want to see it by column, by bar chart, or even line, and so on, of course. And also, you can download this graph as an image or even print it. Down here, you can see the subsidiary navigator. All right, just to visualize your company structure for if you have multiple subsidiaries, multiple companies. Okay, for example, we have here a parent subsidiary or a parent company. All right, and down here we have two subsidiaries and elimination, of course, for consolidation purpose. Here we have top 5 donors by profitability. All right, again, you can change the date, you can change how it looks like. If we went down here, we can have expenses by fund slash program. For example, here I want to see it last fiscal quarter, let's say. Okay, once you choose that, simply you will generate the chart accordingly. Here we have some key performance indicators. Let's say I want to see the grant one, the grants lost, and also I can see the comparative periods, and I can see the current versus the previous, and I can see also the change between them. Each one of these key performance indicators, simply you can generate a chart. If you click on this one, you can generate a chart for this key performance indicator. Of course, you can change the period again. For example, I want to see it monthly, and I want to see the moving average, and it's by line. um, all right, so again, you can add as many as key performance indicator as you need, and it's very accurate and it's real time. Okay, all these numbers are drillable. If you click on the number, you will drill to the report which it came from. So simply you can drill down until the transaction level. Okay, top 5 villages, maybe end of this fiscal year. Of course, again, you can change the period. Down here we have Nfp financials, non-for-profit financials, another key performance indicators, just to monitor and give us a deeper look how the organization is going, so you can monitor all the business by looking at your dashboard. Also down here I can see, for example, I want to generate revenue by period. Okay, but this actually trend graph has multiple trend graphs, which is it has for example revenue, it has profit, it has expenses. So it's multiple trend graphs into one chart. Of course, you can again generate the moving average for this one, and also you can see how also you can compare between trend graphs. And down here we have net assets by funds or program. Again, you can filter by the date. For example, here we have the child care assistance program. I can see the total revenue, the total expenses, the revenue is released, and also the net assets, which is between, of course, the total revenue and the total expenses. So anyways, that's an overview about the dashboard. Of course, this is the proposed dashboard. You can, of course, at any point of time, you can add multiple elements or portlets to your dashboard as per your preferences. So first, before we're going to our cycle, I want to take a look here about the NFP Solution Center, which has all the components is related to the NFP business. I can see here financial reports. I can see revenue reports, expense report, financials, data management. And for data management, I want to stop here for a second because NetSuite is multi-dimensional system. It has, for example, a subsidiary as a dimension or a company as a dimension. It also has the department, region, functional expense, restriction, revenue type, subtype. The good thing here is this is the predefined segments that come natively with NetSuite. But the good thing is um, you can create unlimited segmentation. So you can have unlimited combination reports. So to have accurate and easy data as well. So for example, let's take a look about the revenue type. If we click here on the revenue type, we can see donation, we can see event revenue, fee of service, grant, membership, sale of goods. You can have, of course, more than one revenue type. You can have here, for example, pledges. You can have gifts in kind, service, and so on. Okay. So if we went back again to our dashboard, I want to take a look about the financial reports. For example, if we can see statement of activity, as you can see here, this is the layout of statement of activity. Of course, you can change the layout of the statement. All right, down here you can see the filters. You can filter by specific dates from to. You can filter by the a company or a subsidiary, and of course you can see here the segmentation that we discussed before. For example, I want to see it by I want to see the statement of activity by fund or program. So if I choose here and I click on refresh, okay, simply you'll be able to see the statement of activity by program. So I can see here the statement of activity for child and care assistance. I can see the community development and all the funds or programs that we have, and of course at the end we can see the total. All right. Also here, if I want to see by grant, by region, by restriction, I want to see there's with or without restrictions, and without donor restriction, unassigned, with donor restriction, and total. Um, if I click here on more, I can of course again filter the statement of activity by specific service or item, a specific donor as well. So it's very useful to manipulate this filter just to get the proper report for your business. Of course, you can generate this report as Excel, and all the formulas in a NetSuite report will be populated in the Excel as well. You can export it as PDF, CSV, Word. You can print it, email it, or even schedule this report to be sent to you based on a specific schedule. Also, let's see another report, which is a statement of financial position. Of course, each report in NetSuite has two views. It has a summary view and also it has a detailed view for details. And again, you can drill down into the transaction level. Here, as you can see here, the total assets, the total liabilities, and net assets. Again, you can manipulate these filters as per your preferences. Also, I want to show you some of the revenue reports. For example, I want to see the comparative revenue summary. As you can see here, I can see the revenue, for example, this month versus the revenue last month, this year versus last year, and so on. Of course, you can filter by the dates. and you can see here the totals for each year. If we can also collapse these revenue streams, so I can see for the donation, the grant, the event revenue as well. So all revenue type you can have it here as a comparative periods. Let's go back to again to our dashboard, and let's start our cycle by creating a pledge. All right, and then creating an invoice for this pledge, and then doing the collection. Also, as I said, you can manage all the types of revenue regarding the non-for-profit organization, not only pledges, but also the cash donations, grants, gifts in kind service, ticket sales as well. So today we are going to see how to go through pledge, invoice, and then collection. So for example, here, of course, I can navigate through these tabs, or simply I can use the global search here to search for any record or transaction in the system. So, for example, now I will create a new pledge or agreement for a donor. So here I will select a donor. Of course, I can select from the list, or I can type in here, let's say above and cloud foundation. Once I select the donor, all the related information about the donor will be populated automatically. For example, the subsidiary, the currency is related to the donor as well, and everything related to the donor. Also, if I open the donor here into a new tab, just to take a look about the donor master, so we can see the donor 360 view, and all the related records, all the related transactions for this specific donor. For example, of course, I can see the private information, I can see the email and phone address information for this donor, I can see the annual revenue, for example, all, the address as well, the relationship or contacts for this donor, all the communications that has been done, the email that has been sent to this donor, the activities, what is the phone calls, what is the the cases or something, the files that has been attached, or even some user notes that has left notes here into the donor record. Of course, you can see the all the relevant information. Let's say giving summary. Okay, so I can see here the contributions by year. Okay, if we went down here, I can see the number for the year, the number of gifts, the total gifts, and also the average gift size. I can see the contribution by type, contributions by fund or program. If we went down here, I can see also as well by revenue type or subtype. Also here the total, the sales information, what is the opportunities, the transactions, and also the projects related to this donor or constituent. So if I went down here, I can see all the pledges or the proposal, the invoices, the payments as well, everything related to this donor. Simply, if you can also click here on the this icon, you'll be able to see the donor dashboard, which gives you the 360-degree of the donor, so you can view all the related information. So for example, here I can see the summary, I can see the key performance indicators that this donor has impacted to the related transaction, as we discussed, the activities, everything related to the specific donor. Okay, so back again to our pledge or agreement. So for example, here I'll select a specific project. For example, I'll select this project. Okay, and down here I'll select the item. you will notice that we have multiple service items. We have, of course, government grants, right? The non-government grant, the pledges. For example, here I'll select pledge corporate. Okay. Here, here it has a specific, for example, amount. Of course, I can amend this amount. And for easier classification selection, we have something called sweet key. Sweet key, it's a way of classification selection just to make it easy for the user to select the classification. So, for example, if I went down here and select, for example, grant for program C, okay, once I select the sweet key, automatically the associated segmentation or dimensions will be selected. Of course, I have the ability to change it, but again, it's just an easier way to select the segmentation. Okay, I can see here the restriction with donor restriction, and it's for program childcare assistance. There is no time restriction. For example, I want to have time restriction here. Let's say 2021 for a specific region or something. The revenue type here is donation. Okay, and also the sub revenue is here is pledge as well. I can use some billing schedule. So, for example, let's check if we have here monthly. Yeah, the monthly billing schedule. Okay, and I will click on save, add, and then just I'm going to check my accounting information. Have here the currency, the exchange rate. It's auto-populated here according to our setup, and here is the billing information. Okay, I can see also the payment information. All right, and of course the other information. If I click to be emailed and click on save, automatically this pledge or agreement will be sent to the donor as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Gerges. Now I know because of the time is running, so I need to save like few minutes for the Q&A. So I'll hand it back to over Stefan. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishoy. Yeah, so just like to take this opportunity. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the question and answers tab on Zoom and send those in, and then we can answer some of your questions. So I'll let those come in quickly. So a few that we've had. There is this one for Mariel. How can I apply for Oracle NetSuite Social Impact?
Okay, yes. Hi, everyone. That's a good question. So how can you apply? So basically, there is no need for you to apply to our program. So it's just a matter of you talking to our partner, Azdan, and then maybe share some of your documentations, legal documentations that you are indeed a registered organization, a registered nonprofit organization in your country. If it's, yes, certified, it's mentioned on that documentation, then yes, you are eligible for the software donation, and you can just go ahead and proceed with your discussion with Aston. They will coordinate with us so that you would we'll go ahead and send you the paperwork for the software donation.
Thank you. And we have another question from Patrick. Do you have any screening tools to simplify the screening for sanctions, PEPs, financial threats before we commit to any transactions from a received donation? So Bishoy, would you like to answer that one?
Can you just, if you don't mind, can you repeat the question quickly? I'm sorry.
Sure. Do you have any screening tools to simplify the screening for sanctions, PEPs, financial threats before we commit to any transactions from a received donation?
Yeah, exactly. This is actually, it will be part of the something that we call it Suite Flow, which is giving you the ability to build a kind of a workflow approvals in order to reviewing properly any transaction, whatever you have it in the system before, like, executing this transaction. So for sure, it's handled through the Suite Flow, which is again very nice engine that's giving you the ability to build any such type of validations or screening activities in the system.
Great, thank you. There's another one. There's another question in the chat that I've just received, and it's asking around what is the implementation time frame for a mid-sized non-profit?
Yeah, if I'll take this question, you allow me. So I can say, like, this is for sure. It depends on the scope we are having for any engagement, and it depends on the let's call it the target or the specific deadlines that the non-for-profit organization would like to achieve. But when we are talking about like a typical non-for-profit implementation, which is mainly implementing the cycles related to the donor relationship management, the grant fundraising, and all of the such type of activities, in addition to the back office operations, mainly the finance. So we are talking about like a complete cycle can be implemented within a time frame like between, like, let's call it 10 to 12 weeks. So this is something like very much achievable. And really it will help a lot in order to streamline the operations across the non-profit organization.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
It looks like we have a few more questions coming through. So the next one is, do you support or work with any MFIs?
This is for me. I don't know what is the MFI, but if anyone.
Shaban, would you elaborate on MFIs, please? Microfinance institutions.
Microfinance institutions. Yani excuse me for my little knowledge on this, but in general, in Oracle NetSuite, we are supporting for sure the general accepted accounting principles in any country. In addition to this, if you would like to generate your reports as according to whatever IFRS as a common, let's call it, way of reporting, but if you have any specific, I can call it, requirements related to this microfinance institutes, maybe I need to study it and get back to you on the proper answer on this one after reading about the topic and understand properly what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we have some good examples of micro organizations who do microfinancing. One example, a very known logo, I mean, a very known organization named Kiva International. They do microfinancing. Here in the Philippines, we also have, on top of my mind, we also have an organization called Happy Noise. So they provide microfinance to, I mean, they microfinance like small households who wanted to put their own small stores to really help their family. So yeah, that is something that's doable in NetSuite in terms of like setting up your requirements.
Oh, very good.
Mhm.
Great. And I think we might have time for one more question. So we have, do you have a project management module integrated already with Oracle NetSuite?
Yeah, if I'll take this question, yes, we do have a complete comprehensive project management module, including inside NetSuite. which can help you properly to manage your project, all the work breakdown structure, what are the project milestones, who's gonna to do work on this project, managing the resources, managing the cost allocations, properly doing the entire cycle for the projects, starting from the project's planning and then project's execution and reporting. So yes, in NetSuite, we do have this complete comprehensive project management module coming with the job allocation, coming with the monitoring, really the costs and all the financials associated to it, and for sure link it to the entire cycle that you have it into the system.
Yeah, just wanted to give a caveat on that. So with the base donation that we provide with social impact, right, there's the basic project management, but the things that which I was mentioning, like all of the advanced functionalities, we have a module that have those functionalities, and of course you can go ahead and continue on with the discussion with Azdan for you to be able to add that module in place.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I think maybe one last question on possible interface with third-party global database for screening. We take this last one, and then I think that will be the end of the webinar. Thank you.
Yeah, that's for me, this question, sorry.
Yeah, if you'd like to take that, Bishoy.
Yeah, it's about the database for next week. Let's just me clarify the question again, sorry.
Yeah, sure. So is there a possible interface with a third-party global database for screening?
For screening.
Yeah.
Third party, yeah, in NetSuite we do have maybe I'm not, the question is not very much clear for me, but I'll try to answer as much as I can, and hopefully this is will address the question. It's in NetSuite we do have a component, we call it like performance management about the NetSuite. So in NetSuite, you can easily manage all the, let's call it like performance of the, like, transactions that you have it into the NetSuite, which is related to, like, properly, what I can call it, seeing the performance for each transaction, and if there is any kind of improvements that you need to do. In addition to this, for sure, like NetSuite, it's a properly, like, implementing all kinds of audit trail on the and security on the database in order to make sure it's 100% secured and it's completely managed by Oracle inside the Oracle data centers themselves. If I got the question properly.
Yeah, thank you. For any other questions that you may have, or any clarifications on some of the answers that have been given, feel free to get in contact with us on the follow-up after the webinar. We'll be happy to connect with you further on this, and as we presented with the next steps as well, how we can help you move forward and kind of evaluate NetSuite with Azdan. So I think that concludes the webinar for today. I'd like to thank you all again for joining. Really hope that was useful for you, and we look forward to further conversations with yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.